Hello human beings. Today I'll be explaining my frustrations towards Roland the Mad God. For those of you who haven't watched me on my stream, I usually play Roland the Mad God there, but I've completely stopped playing it like 100%, and that is due to these reasons, and I will just talk about all of them. But yeah, first of all, since there's a lot of Twitter people now, I have to explain this. It's my opinions, so know that my opinions are different from your opinions. So let's go ahead and start. So the first reason, and probably the biggest reason, is due to first player experience. And I'd say that's the main reason why most people quit this game, is due to how unfair or how rude they are to the new players. Rather than focusing on the new players, they focus on the old players, trying to keep them in. And I'll get into that later about trying to keep them in, because DECA is known for mobile games rather than PC games, so it kind of makes sense why they try to go that route of trying to keep old players in. But yeah, with first player experience, I'd say the biggest problems is when it comes to realm, going in the realm, which for those that don't know, the realm is the main place where you hunt enemies to get like your gear and stuff. But for a new player, they don't understand how to do it. They always go the route of just following the quest, and if they keep following the quest, they'll just eventually die, because once they get to level 20, they'll just go to one of the hard bosses and immediately die and find it very confusing after that and just quit. But that's of course not the only first player experience I'd say that causes people to leave. It's also the tutorial is so bare bones. All it tells you is the controls, not even all the controls, just how to rotate, how to move, how to shoot, and that's pretty much it. They just don't explain the most important and crucial parts of the game. They don't tell you how settings work, and you need to really know settings to feel like you're not gonna die, because there's 1,000 bullets that shoot when you're in a huge raid or something. I could honestly say a lot of things, but honestly I'll just go into random rants and it'll probably stop making sense at that point. But yeah, I'd say next one would be pets. With pets in the game, it's extremely unfair for new players as well, because if you're a new player, you don't have a pet, and what pets do is, if you level up your pet, if you take either 2,000 hours playing the game to get the best pet, or pay a few $100s, just a little bit, then you'll get a maxed up pet. It's probably even more than the 100. It's probably in the thousands, maybe. Who knows? I haven't done the math, but seriously. But yeah, pets, the biggest thing they do, they have a lot of stats, but the main stats everyone does is pets can heal you, and they can heal your mana, and then the third one is they can paralyze enemies. And if you just upgrade all three of those, then you're pretty much not immune, but like if you stay away from the battle for a tiny bit, then you'll be full health, then you can go back in, keep repeating if you want to be reckless, and just makes the game not feel like skill based anymore for pets. But yeah, I have like 1,000 hours on this game, and I have a legendary pet, which is one below a divine pet, which is the highest level, and it'll probably take 1,000 more hours for me to get a divine pet and fully max it out, which is never gonna happen because I left. But yeah, that's why I think about pets. It's probably the worst thing for the game right now. Well, first player experience and pets kind of fit together, honestly. But yeah, it's honestly a different topic to talk about. The next thing would be the rarity of white bags. When this game first started, they made white bags. White bags are like one of the rarest things to get in the game. When it started, it was extremely rare. Like rare enough to be extremely happy if you get one. Just gives you that huge boost of morale. But now, white bags are so common. Everyone in like the chat keeps bragging about white bags, but it's so common at this point that it just doesn't matter. And I hate that so much. I'd rather be happy for someone for getting a white bag instead of someone being like, oh, I'm so lucky. When honestly, it's just the white bag's rarity just increased completely. And that was in one update. If I can find it, I'll put on screen. Kind of short to talk about, but something I wish was still in the game with the rarity of white bags. It makes positivity and just social a lot better for the game. Socially, you're just telling people about it. They're happy for you, something like that. Jealous for you. And then for yourself, because you know it's so rare that you want to keep it. You can now get 1,000 freaking tablets from the avatar. Because I got 2 within like 1 hour. Like, whoa, I'm lucky, but no, I'm not lucky. It's the game. And something literally nobody talks about, I don't know why nobody talks about this, is events. Events I wish were a lot less about events and more about the mechanics of the game. If you wish to add events to your game, just stop. Just stop and think about your main mechanics. Because events go last. Events should be focused last on any game. But if you make it so that events are 24/7 for Realm of the Mad God, you are gonna stop having a lot of people in your game because they're gonna assume that you're manipulating them to stay in the game and play every day and get all the event loot. But that just makes people leave more, and that makes people have a more unhealthy life. If you want your player base to be a lot healthier, a lot happier about your game, do not have events, or at least minimize your events, because you can't just beg people to always play your game, or else it can go 2 ways. People are gonna leave, or people are gonna be extremely exhausted in your game, and it could cause like actual physical problems to certain people, which happen to some people I know. I'd say another thing most people don't even talk about too is bots, hackers, and dupers, and also realm stock. Well, realm stock kind of does all 3 of those: botting, hacking, duping. Because what realm stock does is they have a client, a hacked client for realm that still works. I had confirmation on that. I never tried it myself because I'm not a douchebag. Well, let's start with bots. This goes back to first player experience with bots, and what they do is just spam whispers, spam in the Nexus, spam in the realms, Nexus being the home area. They just constantly spam. Even if you ignore them, they can still talk to you somehow. I just wish that wasn't a thing. But DECA seems to not know how to combat bots. What bots do is they spam you just links to realm stock to both get their trading items and also use their client. And trading items, I'll go back to dupers. But yeah, hackers goes to the client. The regular players are able to auto nexus, auto just be safe. Even if they like stand on an enemy, they'll just auto nexus and never die. Which part of the game is when you're dead forever. If that's completely removed in the client, then something's wrong with your game. And then there's auto pickup potions. So you can get potions before anyone else. Like health potions and mana potions that can just regen your stuff. I can't think of much else, but I do know raid leaders raid like dungeons where you just join their Discord and do the most boring raid ever because it's way too easy to even have fun. But you know they are using clients because they know exactly what everyone is wearing. So like some dungeons you're not able to go in unless you have like tier 10 items, stuff like that. Some people are like, oh, you don't have good items, you better get kicked now. It doesn't make sense. They have to be using a client or something for that, I swear. Maybe a realm eye, but still, that's just dumb. And then dupers, last thing. Dupers dupe items, of course. I don't know how they do it, but it does exist because in Realm stock, they only sell items. They don't allow other people to sell items. It's just the Realm stock itself selling items. So if that's the case, how do they get every single item in the game and keep getting it to sell items for real money? That is like extremely scummy, but I know people do it. I hate it. I hate it. Nobody expresses that enough, I swear. People really do need to express how terrible Realm stock is. Small side note is the Dark Council. It's nobody even is in that guild anymore besides a few people, but they're obviously a hacking guild. They obviously hack. They dupe items. I think they only dupe items. Someone dupes keys and pops them all the time in that guild, stuff like that. But yeah, nobody's online in that place before, besides the person that pops keys. Just a side note, but yeah, there's that whole guild specifically for hackers. And DECA has done nothing about it. And then the last note is something that nobody talks about. DECA only has one PC game, and that is Realm of the Mad God. Every other game they have is a mobile game. Saying that, well, for some people it sounds terrible, but for some people they're like, oh, give every mobile game a chance. I'm that type that gives mobile games a chance, but looking at every single one of their mobile games is just terrible. They're extremely scummy. Just like Realm of the Mad God. Wow. What a comparison. Before I like name all the games, like what type of game they are, Realm of the Mad God feels like a mobile game now. Before, it felt like just like a skill-based game, but now with having to purchase things for better chances of living and stuff, it just really feels like a mobile game. Same goes with the loot being very common for everyone, making everyone have a chance of good loot. Screams mobile to me. But yeah, here's the mobile games. I don't know any of them besides one, which is Dragon Vale. I do know a crime game too. There's like a Crime City game. But Dragon Vale, I'd say, is the best one out of all of them. But still has, of course, scummy monetization to it. Like buying dragons to be better than other people. Buying land to have more room than other people. And here's the categories of every game that I've seen. There is 2 arcade games, 6 base building games, which base building being call it like strategy building game, but it's just a base building game where you build a building, wait a minute, build another building, wait a minute, then after like an hour of playing, build a building, wait 24 hours, wait for it after 24 hours, build a building, wait for maybe 64 hours. That's the whole game. There's 6 of those that DECA owns, which is an insane number for something extremely scummy. Yeah, they're all scummy games, by the way. Every base building game. I'm not gonna, even Clash of Clans, games like that, just they have so much scummy monetization. And then they have 3 crime type of games, which you do 2 things in the game. You have like a gacha system where you open a crate to get, like, let's say a mafia boss or whatever, have a chance of getting him. And the other part of the game is just click button to wait a few minutes, and after a few minutes you finish the mission. I guess the third thing is just attacking people, but it's pretty boring. It's a boring attacking system on those type of games. And then they got 1 stationary shooter, which is a sniping game. Everyone played those if they played mobile before. You just look around, aim at the person that you're designated to snipe, then you shoot, and then that's all you do. Then you upgrade your weapon, and you do the same thing again. Then later on in the game, you have to pay for money, watch an ad, or keep doing the same thing over and over again to get like an upgrade on a weapon. So it gets to scummy parts of the game too. And then they got 4 gacha games, one idle game, which you just sit there, do nothing, and then collect item, sit there, do nothing, collect item, with a gacha system, which you open a loot box to get like a character. They got one card game, which is a gacha system. It's not even like Hearthstone. Hearthstone, I actually say it was fun for some people. It's not fun for me. I'm not a card game fan, but this game, you just open cards to get better cards than other people, and you're just overpowered, unlike Hearthstone. Hearthstone, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of like Magic the Gathering, where you can have better cards than other people and just win every tournament. But yeah, and then the last, so it was one idle, one card, and then 2 turn-based games. Turn-based being, most turn-based are just the leaf, fire, water, fire, and grass. Grass? I don't know the element. Like earth, I guess. But yeah, just the three element type of games where you just sit there, either click a button and click an enemy, then you attack them, kind of like Pokemon, where it's extremely boring. Yeah, hate me on that. It is extremely boring. I swear to you that Pokemon is boring. hate me. But yeah, they have that, or you can just click auto and then speed up, and then you don't even have to play the game at that point. Basically an idle game now. But yeah, that's a gacha game because you get more characters by using the gacha system. And then a Realm of the Mad God. That is all the games they have. I looked at every single one. That categorized every single one. That's pretty much it. That's all I want to talk about. The video is probably gonna take maybe 10 minutes. Pretty epic. Maybe less than 10 minutes, because I pause in some parts I'm gonna cut out. But yeah. I hope you understood what I was attempting to say. This is my first ever rant video that I've made, so I hope you enjoy it. Oh yeah, I don't think I said in the start, but the video you're watching is not Realm. It's another game. It's gonna be in the description of what game it is. I'll probably at the start show what game name it is and just have the description. But yeah, see you later.